The vast emptiness of space stretched before the exploratory fleet of the Unified Stellar Council, a grand coalition of over 50 different species from across the galaxy. They had ventured far beyond the known borders, into the uncharted regions where the void itself seemed to whisper secrets of civilizations yet to be discovered. This was the grand mission of the USS Scholar's Quest, a vessel of knowledge seekers, scientists, and diplomats. Their latest endeavor had led them to a peculiar sector where an unusual planet orbited a dying sun. The planet, designated XR 711, was unlike any other. Harsh, volatile, and seemingly inhospitable, yet it bore the unmistakable signs of life. Not just simple bacteria or primitive organisms, but intelligent, tool-using, structure-building beings. The fleet's xenobiologists were perplexed. Every recorded case of intelligent life in the galaxy had emerged from stable, temperate conditions, fostering gradual, predictable evolutionary paths. But here, on this hellish rock, something had clawed its way to sentience against all odds. A team was assembled, led by Zavrik Talzun, an expert in exobiology from the Seraphim Collective. His species, the Seraphim, were a race of elegant, avian-like beings whose homeworld was a paradise of balance and tranquility. Even the most warlike species of the Council had evolved from environments that encouraged cooperation, predictability, and sustainability. But this was something entirely different. The landing shuttle made its descent through turbulent skies. The planet's atmosphere was thick with elements that should have stunted complex biological evolution. Toxic clouds drifted across its surface, and radiation levels were barely within habitable thresholds. The landscape below was scarred with immense chasms, sprawling deserts, and vast oceans that churned violently as if in eternal conflict with the land. Yet, scattered across this hellscape were unmistakable signs of civilization, vast cities, interconnected by artificial means of transport, lighting up the darkness like defiant beacons against the encroaching night. The landing site was chosen carefully, an abandoned structure that once seemed to have functioned as a research outpost. The moment the team disembarked, they were greeted by an immediate sense of unease. Something felt wrong. The architecture of the place was crude yet efficient, the materials indicating an advanced level of engineering, but it lacked the fluidity or organic inspiration seen in other developed species. Everything here was built with a singular purpose: survival at any cost. Their first contact came swiftly, though not in the way they expected. Hidden drones, old, rusted, barely functioning, activated as soon as they entered the structure. A voice, garbled and glitching from centuries of degradation, spoke through the remains of an intercom system. "Identify yourselves." Zavrik stepped forward, his voice calm and diplomatic. "We are explorers from the Unified Stellar Council. We seek knowledge and peaceful contact." Silence followed, then static. Finally, the voice returned. "Peaceful." There was a sound that could have been laughter, or perhaps just distortion. "You have found the last remnants of humanity. And if you are wise, you will turn and leave." The team exchanged uneasy glances. Zavrik, however, pressed on. "Humanity? Your species is known as humans." The voice corrected. "We were humans. Now we are the leftovers of something that should never have been." The team continued deeper into the facility, discovering relics of the past, records, documents, data logs. What they uncovered was beyond anything they could have imagined. Humanity had not been the product of a stable, nurturing world. It had been forged in suffering, tested by extremes, battered by an environment that seemed hellbent on erasing it. And instead of perishing, humans had adapted. Over and over, they had refused to die, pushing themselves beyond limits that should have been biologically impossible. "Their biology is madness," one of the scientists whispered as they read through the findings. "Their entire existence defies every known evolutionary principle. Humans had evolved not through stability, but through relentless hardship. Their bodies could endure extreme temperatures, heal from catastrophic injuries, and even resist diseases that would have wiped out other species entirely. Their minds were even more terrifying, capable of rapid problem-solving, unpredictable in ways that no other known intelligence could match, and worst of all, relentless. The deeper they dug, the more unsettling it became. Unlike other species that had developed strong natural defenses or specialized survival traits, humanity's greatest weapon had been its sheer, uncontrollable adaptability. No matter what the universe threw at them, they had survived. But then, the records turned darker. Wars that spanned continents, then planets, then entire systems. Conflicts so devastating that they had rewritten the very fabric of their civilizations time and time again. And yet, they continued. They refused to succumb even when the odds were hopeless. It was a biology designed for struggle, for chaos, for a universe that did not want them to exist. What happened to them? Zavrik finally asked, voice quiet. The voice from the intercom crackled once more. They did what humans always do. They survived, until they couldn't. We burned too bright, too fast. We built too much, fought too hard. We conquered death itself, and in doing so, we lost what made us, us. The last war took everything. A pause. A long, heavy silence. And yet, you're here. The voice gave a hollow chuckle. Am I? Zavrik and his team left XR 711 with more questions than answers. They had come seeking understanding and had found a nightmare wrapped in the guise of a miracle. Humanity was gone, and yet, its echoes remained, whispering through the ruins, a testament to a species that had defied logic, nature, and the universe itself. As the fleet departed, one final message was transmitted from the planet below. Good luck, aliens. You'll need it. And then, silence. But the story was far from over. As the Scholar's quest left the planet's orbit, the crew's instruments detected something strange, anomalies within the system, unusual energy signatures emanating from beneath the planet's surface. The whispers of a species that had survived against all odds were not yet extinguished. The question was, had humanity truly perished, or had they simply become something else?